Hello and welcome back. So in this episode we're going to texture this model. The first thing we want to do is hit N to hide the properties window, drag this triangle over, and drag this one down. Now that we have three windows, we're going to change this to a UV image editor and this to a node editor. Now, the first thing we always have to do when texturing is select all the geometry and unwrap it. I think I'm going to do this in two chunks though. So I'm going to select this piece, shift click here, shift right click, and shift right click, and then I'm going to hit Control L to select all attached geometry. And I'll do the same thing here, here, and here. Control L. And I'm debating whether or not to have the bullets with that. I don't think I will. So I'm going to hit U, Smart UV project with an island margin of 0.05. And you can see it flattened out our image. So let's create a chain gun diffuse 1 texture. And then we also have to create a material, because if we go into texture paint mode, there's still no material on this object. I'm going to go into Cycles Render, New, and Shift A, create an image texture, and select CG Diffuse. And while we're at it, let's just create a second material. I'll call the first one Matte 1 and the second one Matte 2. Like that. And I'm just going to assign Matte 2 to this selection. Like that. Now if I go back into texture paint mode, you can see Matte 2 is a different color than everything that has Matte 1. And so to make sure that so Matte 1 ended up with our texture, and Matte 2 doesn't have a texture yet. So let's go ahead and create a new image. We'll call this Chain Gun Diffuse 2. And I'll just make this like kind of a silvery color. Okay. And then Shift A to add the texture to the second material. Now if we go back into texture paint mode, you can see we have the initial CG Diffuse 1 on these parts and CG Diffuse 2 on these parts. And I think I'll create even a third material, Matte 3. Now where do we want to assign Matte 3? I think I'll just use that for the little details, like the bullets and like these pieces. So rather than manually selecting all of the bullets, I'm going to use the box select tool and go like that, and then hit Control L. So now I have, I missed a piece. Box select, Control L. To select the bullets, I'm going to hit Select, Invert Selection. Just use that inverse tool. And now I have just the bullets selected. And then I think I'll take this piece, so I'll shift right click here. Control L, and then maybe like this chain piece here, shift right click, Control L, and then assign the third material to that. So you can see we have two textures being mapped onto two materials, and the third material doesn't have a texture yet. So we could create one, or we could find one online. I recommend using this textures.com website. Once you create an account, you get 15 free downloads per month. I went ahead and downloaded this one. I just searched Rust and took like the 8th option. So if I open that up in Blender, Image, Open, Downloads, this one. Now on my third material, you can see there's no texture still, so I'm going to hit Shift A, Image Texture, and choose the Seamless Rust. And I don't particularly like the way that it mapped onto the objects. And I guess if this is for a tower defense game, the player is probably going to be pretty high up in the sky, so they're not actually going to be able to see the details of the rust. So rather than using a texture, or I mean rather than using that texture, I'll just create a new one and make it a solid color. Just call it rust and make it like a gold color. That'll work. So now that we made a rust texture, let's assign it to one of the materials, like that. Alright, that's not bad. I think that the shadows on this object would look a lot better if we change Matte 1. So let's go to CG Diffuse, and to paint on this object, we could just paint directly on it. Oh. No, I froze Blender. Well, I think I'll get this video off here. You guys saw the basic process. I don't know why Blender had to crash right at the end. But I hope this video was helpful, and if you want me to do something specific in the future, please let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow.